I have to set a couple of things. This is the RamanaMaharshi Satsang. I'm reading and commenting on the Ashtavakra Gita. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Know yourself. Welcome. I'm Richard Clarke. I'm not a guru or a teacher. Ramana's teaching of non-duality is deep and profound, and I just want to share it. I'm reading and commenting on the Ashtavakra Gita, an important text of Advaita Vedanta. Today, I read from chapter 18, verses 61 to 64. In this chapter, Ashtavakra is talking about the peace of the sage. For the deluded one, even rest is an activity. For the wise, even action bears the fruit of stillness. The deluded one is often adverse to the things of his life. To one with no thought for body, attachment and aversion have no meaning. The deluded mind is caught up in thinking and not thinking. Though the mind of the wise one may think what thoughts come, he's not aware of it. The sage sees nothing being done, even when performed by his hands. Like a child, he is pure and acts without reason. So let's break these verses down. And as we're doing it, look within yourself to experience. 1861. For the deluded one, even rest is an activity. For the wise, even action bears the fruit of stillness. This verse points out the contrast between identification and detachment. When you're caught in the mind, even lying still is full of inner motion, restlessness, plans, resistance. But for the wise one, action flows without tension or involvement. The body moves, but the inner peace remains undisturbed. Stillness is not about the body not moving. It's the absence of inner disturbance. Awareness of yourself gives rise to this kind of stillness, untouched by activity. You might think you're resting when you stop moving, but if your mind is racing or you're caught in subtle striving, it's not true rest. The wise one is inwardly silent even while the body moves. This verse encourages you to shift your attention from outer stillness to the inner sense of being. Ashtavakra invites you to notice that it's possible to be completely at rest even during activity. This is freedom from the false idea that peace depends on quiet surroundings or a perfectly still mind. When you're grounded in the self, activity continues, but it leaves no trace in you. 1862. The deluded one is often averse to the things of his life. To one with no thought for body, attachment and aversion have no meaning. This verse brings you face to face with the roots of suffering, liking and disliking. The deluded one struggles with life's experiences, wanting this, rejecting that. But once you stop thinking of yourself as the body, your identity shifts. You are not the one who owns or controls circumstances. You are not the one with agency in the world. Without that identification, preferences fall away. They may appear, but they no longer bind you. Ashtavakra asks you to look closely at what drives your preferences. When your identity is tied to the body, you will constantly judge life, wanting some experiences, rejecting others. But if you truly stop identifying with the body as who you are, these emotional swings begin to settle. This isn't about becoming numb or passive. It's about discovering a deeper place within you where life simply unfolds and you remain at peace regardless of its form. You don't have to keep defending your likes and dislikes and protecting your image of yourself. The moment you release the body-centered identity, there's space for a deeper stillness and clarity to rise. 1863. The deluded mind is caught up in thinking and not thinking. Though the mind of the wise one may think what thoughts come, he's not aware of it. This verse contrasts mental effort with spacious awareness. The deluded mind flips between effortful thinking and effort trying to suppress thoughts. But the wise one lets thoughts come and go like wind through an open window. He doesn't monitor, judge, or cling to them. There is no concern with whether thinking is happening or not. There is only the awareness in which it all appears. Seekers may spend a lot of time trying to control their mind, chasing silence or resisting thought. But this verse invites you to notice that real peace isn't about whether thinking happens or not. It's about whether you believe the thoughts mean something about you. The wise one doesn't track whether the mind is active. He lives in such ease that thinking may rise, but it doesn't pull him in. You can start to taste that freedom when you sit back as awareness and allow the mind to move as it does, without claiming it, without resisting. That's where you find lasting peace. 1864. The sage sees nothing being done, even when performed by his hands. Like a child, he is pure and acts without reason. Ashtavakra speaks to pure spontaneity. The sage doesn't act from a mental script or a sense of I am doing this. The body moves, words are spoken, but there's no ego clinging to it. Like a child, there is innocence, not because of ignorance, but because there is no sense of being the doer. The sage lives in freedom from ownership of action. You may feel like you're the one making decision and taking actions. This verse quietly challenges that assumption. The sage sees actions simply happen without a personal doer behind them. This is not irresponsibility, but a deep innocence. When you're not clinging to ego or personal motives, action flows cleanly like water running downhill. You still live your life, but you stop carrying the heavy sense of, I am the one making this happen. You are free from the weight of the sense of agency, like a child who acts freely without self-image. You begin to live with openness and lightness. The sense of separation fades, and with it, the stress of needing to control everything. These verses point you back to your natural state of awareness, unmoved by thought, untouched by activity, free from identification. If you rest as the self, you will see that stillness, clarity, and freedom are already here, not something to attain through struggle. And now we have a video, a satsang discourse by Nome, Always.
That which you truly are, you are always. not only is that immutable, it is eternal. What of you is eternal? What has a beginning and an end, a birth and a death, cannot be your very existence. For existence does not cease to exist at any time. Evidently, that cannot be the body, which has a beginning and an end. If your real nature is bodiless, what is it? What has a beginning and an end? In other words, that which is not eternal is merely a false appearance and not the reality of your being. Who are you? Thought is not eternal. It is momentary. What you are is always. If you are neither the perceptible nor the conceivable, what are you? The Upanishads declare that the self is Brahman. And Sri Bhagavan, Ribhu, Adi Shankara, and others have proclaimed the nature of the self to be Satchidananda, being, consciousness, bliss. If you know yourself, therefore, Brahman knows Brahman, God knows God. To know yourself, inquire deeply within. At the depth of your very existence, who am I? Such inquiry brings a cessation to the imaginary conception of differentiation, such as Jagat Jiva Para, the universe, the individual, and the supreme. In the eternal, as the eternal, one finds complete peace and illimitable joy. Such are of your very nature. If you mistake yourself to be a limited embodied individual, then with such misidentification, bondage seems to be, and being bound, the innate happiness appears veiled, and such is a state of suffering. To be free of the suffering, liberate yourself from bondage. To become unbound, cease to misidentify. To cease to misidentify, inquire, who am I? As, as all forms are seen to perish, the eternal must be formless. Your very existence is formless. What is formless cannot possibly be multiple. Differentiation is only among imagined forms. Thus, if you have a form, or seem to have a form, likewise God and the world. If you are the eternal, pure existence, consciousness, bliss, there is no question of form or of differentiation. There is only one homogeneous, boundless, beginningless, endless, pure existence. And that is what you are. The self is only one. Your existence is invariably singular. There cannot be two selves, an eternal one and a transient one. A real self and a false self. An absolute self, or Brahman, and an individualized self. If you inquire to know yourself, penetrating the very heart of the apparently individualized existence, you will find only Brahman, the absolute self, which is one without a second, for all eternity. The interior, silent, direct experience of this, without cessation, is steady abidance, or true knowledge.
And now we'll take a few minutes and inquire within ourselves. You exist. Notice that you exist, and you know that you exist. And inquire, investigate within yourself. Am I trying to find stillness by controlling the body or mind, or by noticing the quiet that's already here? Who is it that reacts with aversion or attachment? Who is aware of these thoughts? And is that awareness ever disturbed? Can I allow action to happen without claiming ownership or control? Who am I? What am I? What is the nature of my existence? What actually exists? All right. And let's close with a chant. Om.
Shanti, Shanti.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace. Thank you. Thank you all.
Any questions or comments on the verses today?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
Action without ownership,
Mm.
no doership.
Yes.
I heard a teacher say you can't even pee on command. So beautiful and just so peaceful.
Yes. That's the peace of itself.
Yeah.
Anyways, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night. Namo Ramanaya.
Namo Ramanaya.